narcissistic goal is destruction. What is really happening in these relationships? A feeling of total destruction. Most people who have survived severe narcissistic abuse describe the same frightening feeling. It seems that the narcissist's goal is not just to hurt you, but to destroy you as a person. Survivors often say it feels like the narcissist wants to kill them psychologically, not quickly, but slowly, painfully, and repeatedly. This is exactly how it feels when someone goes through narcissistic abuse. Naturally, a question arises. Why? If you are a source of care, support, forgiveness, patience, sacrifice, and emotional supply, why would someone want to destroy you? In relationships with a narcissistic person, normal logic doesn't apply. So, first thing, screenshot instead of a real person. Psychologist Sam Vaknin explains this paradox by describing how the narcissistic mind works. At the very beginning of a relationship, the narcissist doesn't truly get to know you. Instead, they take a kind of a mental snapshot of you, a quick, shallow image. Then, in their imagination, they edit this image, like in a photo app. They add qualities, traits, reactions, and behaviors that they want. This imagined version of you is built entirely from their expectations, not from who you really are. At most, a few real details are used. Your appearance, your voice, your smell, maybe facial expressions. Everything else, your personality, your emotions, your thoughts, your reactions, is invented by them very quickly and without your participation. Second thing, the inner image and loss of autonomy. Next comes a key process called introjection. The narcissist places this imagined version of you inside themselves as an inner object. From this point on, your role becomes cruelly simple. If you are expected to perfectly match this inner image, whether you want it or not, any deviation, even small, triggers aggression. The more the narcissist feels that you are trapped, dependent, and have nowhere to go, the stronger and harsher their aggression becomes. At first it looks like devaluation, criticism, humiliation, passive-aggressive behavior. And over time, punishments escalate. Their goal is to stop you from becoming independent, to scare you with abandonment, to make you helpless, to isolate you socially, and to keep full control of the inner image they created, inner image of you. Why your independence feels like a threat? The thing is that a narcissist merges with this inner image and experiences it as a part of themselves. That is why your autonomy feels dangerous to them, as if they are losing part of their own identity. For a healthy person, it sounds like absurd, but it is essential for understanding narcissistic relationships. Things go wrong the moment the narcissist realizes there is a gap between the fantasy image in their head and you, a real living person with your own character, your own boundaries, and in their worldview, the partner belongs to them. They believe they have the right to receive only the reactions and behaviors they programmed and they want. Any mismatch threatens their sense of grandiosity, of importance. And for a narcissist, a threat to grandiosity and importance feels like total worthlessness. Another step from punishment to destruction. To avoid this feeling, this inner collapse, the narcissist does everything possible to maintain control, even if it means destroying you, destroying the partner. The inner image becomes a source of psychological energies they feed on. When you show independence, their anxiety grows into panic. Their response is punishment. First, psychological, then increasingly cruel and destructive. Eventually, you stop being seen as a human being and become an enemy, a threat to the inner image they are fused with. Why they do not let you go? over time, the real you is completely devalued. You are seen only as a raw material, something already used up. What truly matters to them is the fantasy in their head, but they also cannot let you leave because only they are allowed to control this inner construction. That is why the same painful dialogue repeats so often. The victim says, if I am so bad, if you humiliate me, if you don't love me, if you devalue me, if you cheated on me, if you say I mean nothing, just let me go, let's just separate. But agreement never comes. A person with this psychological structure cannot allow you to live with the part of themselves, like of this part they merged with. Any failure to match the fantasy is declared your fault and it becomes your responsibility and you have to fix it. So why you cannot just leave? This is the key point. If you do not meet the abuser's expectations, in their mind, it's your defect. You are expected to change yourself, to break yourself, to adapt endlessly. And if you refuse, they believe they have the right to break and to destroy you, psychologically and sometimes physically. That is why leaving is rarely calm and simple. After separation, there is often harassment, stalking, revenge, pressure, and intimidation. The goal is either to regain control or to punish you for the loss of supply. They have no grief, there's only replacement. The one of the most disturbing observation is how narcissistic abusers react to the death of a victim. There is no grieving process, no sorrow, no pain, no regret. Very quickly, sometimes within days, they switch to a new person, a new source of supply. Those who have witnessed this they describe it as something chilling. It feels as if a narcissist experiences not loss but victory. There is no empathy or emotional bond, not as a defense, but because the psyche is structured differently. Why they cannot form healthy attachment? While people with a deeply split narcissistic psyche cannot form healthy long-term emotional bonds. This is not about effort, love, patience, or couples therapy. It's about fundamental psychological limitations. Sam Waknin describes this in detail. The internal logic, the emotional emptiness, and the inability to truly attach. And what is the only way to save yourself? That's why professionals who work with abuse, they agree on one thing. The only way to preserve yourself as a person is to leave and fully break the connection, not oppose, not friendship, not expectations or negotiations, but a clear, consistent, and final break, as much as the situation allows. And whenever you feel like replying or texting them by yourself, forgiving, forgetting what was going on, it's a signal to them that's a signal to them that they actually did nothing wrong and that you want to go back, and whatever they did doesn't matter. So they can do it again and again and again. So if you are in this kind of relationships, and if you aren't happy, because some people sometimes, maybe, I don't know, not me, not my case, they can be happy in this kind of relationships. Maybe. If you feel like you're happy and you're fulfilled and, like, I don't know, do you. Better to leave, but it's better to leave because this narcissist is probably, if you're into relationships, if you like to have relationships, if you want relationships, this narcissistic person is taking someone's place. This is a problem. So while you're suffering, while you're trying to change yourself, there's someone who could make you happy, whom you could make happy. And you're just missing this wonderful opportunity because you stuck with this narcissistic crocodile. So I wish you the best. make your choices, be smart. See you soon.